Petra lies deep within the semi-arid region of southern Jordan, where stone is soft, water is scarce, and nature offers humans very little room for error. Rain does not fall often here, but when it does, it arrives like a blow. Flash floods can form in a matter of minutes, carrying mud and rock through narrow mountain gorges with destructive force powerful enough to erase all traces of life. By modern engineering standards, this is precisely the kind of terrain that would be avoided from the outset. But more than 2,000 years ago, the Nabateans did not avoid it. They chose to stay, and they built. Petra does not exist because it was beautifully carved. It exists because it has not collapsed. While many other ancient cities vanished completely, Petra remained, eroded, but not erased. The central scientific question, therefore, is not what Petra looks like, but why it is still here. To answer that question, Petra must be understood not as a decorative relic of history, but as an ancient engineering system designed to survive under extreme conditions. For Petra to endure, the Nabateans were forced to solve multiple problems simultaneously, any one of which, if mishandled, could have destroyed the entire city. Sandstone was soft and easy to shape, yet extremely vulnerable to water. Water was scarce for most of the year, but devastating when it arrived. The terrain was steep and narrow, accelerating every flow. Under such conditions, Petra could not be built like an ordinary city. It had to be designed as a survival system, where even the smallest decision affected long-term viability.
The Nabateans did not begin by constructing buildings. They began by reading the stone and reading the water. Before carving a single wall, they needed to understand how the sandstone fractured, how it retained moisture, and how it responded after repeated rainy seasons. They understood that Petra could not remain standing based on appearance alone. It had to be anchored directly into the mountain itself. Instead of building by adding materials, they chose to remove material. Every living space, every temple, every facade was created by subtracting stone, leaving behind structures that were physically fused with the mountain. This eliminated the need for foundations in the modern sense. Gravity did not pull the structures away from the ground, it pressed them firmly into the terrain. This provided a major mechanical advantage in a region prone to erosion and seismic activity. But anchoring the city to the mountain only mattered if water could be prevented from destroying the stone from within. That is where water control became the defining factor of Petra's survival. If water were allowed to follow its natural course, Petra would have disappeared after only a few major floods. The Nabateans did not fight water, they controlled it. From the very entrance of the Sick Gorge, they constructed diversion systems to separate floodwaters from the city center. During heavy rains, water was redirected away from Petra rather than rushing through it. This was not a passive response, but a system designed to anticipate disaster. Even a minor error in elevation or channel placement could have allowed water to break free and devastate the settlement. Petra thus existed perpetually on a thin line between stability and collapse. Inside the city, water was collected, slowed, and distributed through a network of channels carved directly into the rock. The slope of these channels was never arbitrary. Too steep, and erosion would destroy the sandstone. Too shallow, and water would stagnate, seep into the rock, and cause internal fracturing. The Nabateans achieved a precise balance in which water flowed continuously but never violently. Excess water was directed into reservoirs and settling basins, allowing the city to survive extended periods of drought. Everything functioned through gravity alone, without pumps or complex mechanical devices. If the system had been poorly designed, it would have destroyed itself. But when executed correctly, it could operate reliably for generations.
Petra was not completed in a single phase. It developed gradually, with each stage informed by direct observation. New areas were not exploited aggressively. They were allowed to endure at least one major rainy cycle to reveal weaknesses. If erosion appeared or water escaped control, the area was reinforced or abandoned before further development. This demonstrates that the Nabateans did not believe their initial designs were perfect. They allowed the environment to respond to the structure and then adjusted accordingly. This approach closely resembles the modern scientific method, in which empirical data outweighs initial assumptions. The city's spatial organization reflects the same philosophy. Petra lacks straight, symmetrical axes. Paths follow the contours of the rock. Plazas open only where the terrain allows. Architecture does not impose itself upon the mountain, it conforms to it. This reduces the amount of stone that must be removed while preserving natural stability. As a result, Petra may seem unintuitive by modern urban standards, but it is highly logical within its geological and hydrological context. Over time, Petra expanded alongside accumulated experience. Early water channels were widened as the population grew. Reservoirs were deepened to increase storage capacity. Some facades were left unfinished when the rock proved too unstable for further carving. This indicates that Petra was never designed to reach maximum scale. It was designed to adapt. Its system allowed expansion without disrupting existing structures, a principle known today as modular design, yet practiced by the Nabateans long before it was formally defined.
Another critical aspect was the handling of intersections between architecture and hydraulics. In many locations, water channels ran above or behind carved structures. This posed significant risk if leakage occurred. To mitigate this, secondary drainage grooves and buffer layers were incorporated, allowing water to escape before building pressure inside the rock. If one channel became blocked, water would spill into another path rather than destroy the main structure. This created a passive redundancy system that required no constant human intervention, yet ensured long-term safety. Petra also evolved through risk classification. Not all areas were protected equally. Critical structures were placed in geologically stable zones, while less essential areas accepted higher levels of risk. This strategic allocation reflects a clear understanding of limited resources. Petra did not attempt absolute safety everywhere. It focused on preserving what could not be lost. This mindset explains why Petra did not suffer catastrophic collapse during earthquakes. Rock-cut structures could shift slightly without separating. Small fractures dispersed seismic energy rather than concentrating it. The system was neither rigid nor fragile. It reached a state of dynamic equilibrium, allowing the city to yield to natural forces without breaking. Ultimately, Petra was not the product of a single moment of genius, but of accumulated intelligence across generations. Each generation inherited not only the city, but also lessons carved directly into stone, where failures occurred, where reinforcements were necessary, where construction should be avoided. This knowledge was not written in texts, but embedded in the physical structure itself. Petra was therefore not just a city, but a centuries-long learning process. This process explains why, when Nabatean society collapsed and people left, Petra remained. The city did not need human presence to stay standing. It had been designed to survive on its own. Petra was not abandoned because it failed technically. It was abandoned because people left. When trade declined and the Nabatean social structure disintegrated, the city lost its function, but the system endured. Water continued to flow correctly. Stone remained stable. This demonstrates that science and engineering, when executed properly, can outlast political power itself. Today, Petra is no longer a living city, but it is a vast technical document carved into stone. It poses a question to the modern world. How long are we building for? In an increasingly hostile environment, are we resisting nature or learning to exist alongside it? Petra does not offer a direct answer, but the fact that it still stands more than 2,000 years later is an answer powerful enough.